welcome to another green marble crochet tutorial, and also welcome to Granny Square Sunday. So for this Granny Square Sunday, we're going to be making this granny square, which I've called the hexagon granny square, you know, for obvious reasons. Yes, we're going to be making this. Very, very quick, very simple to make, not as complicated as it looks at all. So yes, we're making that one. But first we're going to have a quick look at the tiny details on the label. So they're both the same yarn, so same brand, and this is the brand. So if you need more time to look at anything, just pause the video. So there's that, and here are the tiny relevant details. So it's 100% acrylic, and it's saying I should use a 3 or a 3.5 millimeter hook, which is good because I'm going to be using my 3.5. So my 3.5, I'm going to use that. Yes. Also, I just want to mention quickly that if I go too fast, I'm going to mention it now, if I go too fast at any point during the tutorial, there's a feature on YouTube on the side panel of the video, on the settings panel, where you can slow down the speed of the video. So I suggest just doing that. It'll make it a lot easier for you to follow if the tutorial is too fast. Okay, so aside from that, we can probably just get started. Alright, now to begin, what we're going to do is we're going to take both yarn ends, so the ends of both of those yarns, and we're going to make a slip knot with both. So to do that, we take the ends and we wrap them around our finger like this, and then pull through the loop like this. And I always try and make that end, or the tail end, as short as I can because I like to crochet that in as I go. So just like that. Very, very short. And now what we're going to do is we're going to adjust our knot to the hook, like so. Then we're going to pull it tight. So grabbing the end that you'll be working with, pull tight, just like that. Now, we're going to, using both of those strands, we're going to make a chain of 3. So that is, to make a chain stitch, is yarn over, pull through. So that's one chain. So then we're going to do 2 and 3. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drop the yarn that we'll be using less of. So I'm going to be using less of the grey. Going to pick up the blue. We're going to yarn over with that blue and pull through another chain. So there's 4 chains, but one with just the blue. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into that very first chain at the beginning. So working your way back to the beginning. See the top part of the stitch, or top part of the chain just there. So into there. You're going to slip stitch, so you put your chain through there, hook through there, yarn over, pull through a loop like this, then pull that loop through your last chain, just like that, and that makes a small chain circle. So if you pull that apart, you'll be able to see the center of that just there, and that's what you're going to be working into to begin with. So what we're going to do next is we're going to chain up 2, so 1, 2, just with that blue yarn, and we're going to be putting 11 double crochets into the center of the chain circle, because this chain of 2 acts as a stitch. So that's your first stitch, so basically sort of 12 stitches, but we're going to be putting 11 double crochets into the chain circle. So to make a double crochet, it's yarn over, insert your hook into the center of the chain circle, so pulling it apart just there so you see where you need to go. So I need to go just in there. So insert your hook, then focus the camera and yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a double crochet. So that's one of the 11, then you're going to do it again. So 2, and then 3. And as you can see, I'm sort of shoving these end bits to the side so I can sort of crochet them in as I go. So what am I on? 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3. I forgot I was counting that chain 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So put in 11 double crochets. We'll meet up when we've done that, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Okay, now here I am with my 11 double crochets into the center of that chain circle, so that's what that looks like. Now what we're going to do is making sure we catch up this gray strand as we slip stitch into the top of that chain 2. We're going to twist the strands together like this. Then, finding that chain of 2 from the beginning of the round, we're going to slip stitch into the stitch at the top of that. So that's the stitch, so there's that chain 2 at the beginning. You're going to insert your hook through the whole of that stitch at the beginning. So you see there's like a V on the top of the stitch just there. You're going to go in beneath both parts of that, yarn over, pull through that stitch, and then pull it through the last stitch you had for a slip stitch, just like that. Now, our next step for round 2 is to chain up 2, so 1 and 2. And again, this chain of 2 is going to be acting as a stitch. So what we're going to be doing is each stitch is going to have 2 stitches into the stitch, but every third stitch is going to be a little different. So I'll show you what I mean. So this is acting as 1, so we count 1, the chain of 2 is 1. Then in beside that chain of 2 into the stitch just beneath the chain of 1. Focus, camera, focus. Come on. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. Alright, so in beside that chain of 2, just into the stitch beneath that, you're going to put another double crochet, or a double crochet. So that's stitch number 2. Then into the next stitch along, you would be putting 3 into the stitch, but what we're going to do is we're going to drop the blue strand and pull up the grey behind it like this. You're going to yarn over with the grey, insert your hook into the center of the chain circle again, or this is where you put the 11 double crochets. You're going to yarn over, pull through a loop of the grey, and then pull that loose. Pull it up to a point where it would be at the halfway point of the double crochet. So just like that, you're going to do that. Then what you're going to do is we're going to be dropping the grey, but we're going to be pulling up the blue behind it. So we're twisting that grey up with the blue, just like that. Hope you can see that. Then you're going to yarn over with the blue like this. Yarn over, pull through the 2 grey loops, yarn over, pull through 2 blue loops. So it's sort of a half-half double crochet with both colours. Then into the stitch where you would have put the third stitch, you're going to put yarn over, put another double crochet. So 4. There's going to be 24 stitches at the end of this round, so you can count that as you go around. So I've just put in 4, then into the next stitch would be 5 and 6. Then we've come to the next third stitch, so this would be stitch 7. So you drop the blue, yarn over with the grey, so pulling up the grey behind it, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through a grey loop, stretch it up to the halfway point of a double crochet, or the double crochet of round 2. Then dropping that, twist it up with the blue like this. Then yarn over with the blue, pull through those 2 grey loops, yarn over, pull through the 2 blue loops. So that's stitch number 7. Then into the stitch where that would have gone, we put stitch number 8. So you can see the pattern. Every third stitch is one of these long stemmed, long post double crochets. So that's the pattern. Follow that all the way around. So you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll meet you back up when we've done that. By that stage, you should have 3 of these long spoke double crochets and 24 stitches all up. All right, so I'll see you at the end of this round. Okay, now here I am at the end of the round, and as you can see, I've got those 6 long spoke double crochets into the center of that chain circle there, with 24 stitches all up all the way around. So once again, I'm going to make sure that I'm catching up that grey by twisting it like that. And I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 2 at the beginning, just there, just like that. And now we're going to begin round 3. So for round 3, what we're going to do is we're going to chain up 2, and once again that chain of 2 is acting as a stitch. And the pattern for this one is 2 into every first stitch and 1 into every third stitch, but we're going to be counting this in multiples of 6. And by the end of it, we're going to have a stitch count of 36 with 6 peaks. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. Now into that stitch right beneath the chain of 2, we're going to put a double crochet. So double crochet, and that's 1 and 2 already. So 1, 2. Then we're going to put 1 stitch into the next stitch along, so that will be 3. Then into the stitch after that, we're going to put 2 stitches, so that will be 4 and 5, just like that. And then into the stitch after that, we're going to, well, it's actually not really this, we're putting nothing into the stitch after that, because what we're going to do is we're going to drop that blue, we're going to twist up the grey behind it, yarn over with the grey, then we're going to move to this spoke just here, and what we're going to do is we're going to push our hook in beside the spoke of the double crochet, but not down here anywhere. It's going to be into the side of the spoke where it's in round 2 rather than round 1. So hooking in just to the side there, you're going to push your hook through there, out through the side, then you're going to yarn over, you're going to pull through a loop, but you're going to pull it up to meet the point where that halfway point would be, again, of the double crochet. So you're going to pull it up, stretch up the stitch just like that. Then you're going to hold it just there, hold your finger on just there, just like that, I suggest, because then it sort of keeps it where it needs to be. Then you're going to yarn over with the grey again, and you're sort of going to twist like this. And then you're going to shove your hook in the side of this stitch on the other side just here, double crochet just here. So out the back just there like that. Then you're going to yarn over, pull through a loop, and also stretch that up to the point where it would be half the double crochet of round 3. Then you're going to, holding onto your grey just like that, pick up that blue strand, twist it up with the grey, so hang on, twisting it up with the grey like this, twisting up with the blue, yarn over with the blue, pull through all of those grey loops that are on the hook, like this. Focus the camera a bit better. Come on. Yeah. And then yarn over, pull through those remaining 2 blue loops at the top. So there's your first peak. That's what that looks like. Now, what we're going to do is, at this point, you can see if you pull these bits of the peak aside, you pull that aside, you can see that just there is where stitch number 6 would have gone. So that bit just there. And what we're going to do is you're going to have to push this bit aside a little bit. You're going to have to go into like that. So you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go into the next stitch along, which will be 1 and 2 of the next 6. So, like I said, it's in multiples of 6, so you're going to go in through that. It can seem a little tricky. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So you just go in there like that. See, there you go. We're in the stitch. Then you yarn over, pull through a loop. 1 double crochet. Oops, try not to get that loop just there at the back. Then 2. Then moving on to the next one will be, see that stitch just there after the initial 1 and 2 of the next multiple of 6, or the next set of 6, can seem a little tight, but it's going to be okay because you're only putting 1 stitch into it anyway. So that's 3. Then moving on to the next one along, that's 4 and 5, and 5, just like this. Then we're going to do the peak again, so it's dropping the blue, grey up behind it, yarn over with the grey, go in beside the spoke of the stitch at the round 2 level, yarn over, pull through a long loop up to the point where, or the halfway point of this double crochet for number, so I think it's the 6th, and then, then we yarn over again with that grey, and we twist and go in beside. Okay, so at this point you're just going in beneath this long spoke of that peak into the side just here, out through the back, yarn over, pull through a loop, bring it up to that halfway point, then once again twisting those 2 yarns, bring up the blue, yarn over, pull through all those grey loops, yarn over, pull through the 2 blue. So just like that, there you go, there's your second peak. So you're going to repeat that pattern till the end of the round. And like I said, by the end of the round, you'll have 6 of these peaks. and 36 stitches all up. So I'll meet back up with you at that point and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Okay, see you soon. Okay, now I'm at the point where I'm putting in my last peek, but I just thought I'd meet back up with you now and go through it with you, just in case anybody was confused on how to do this part. So it's the same really as the other parts, just ignore the sort of the part where we're going to join. So you yarn over with the grey, and then you go in, you hook in beside the stitch just there, go out through the back, pull that loop loose, shove that blue to the side, pull the loop loose up to that halfway point, yarn over with the grey again, hook in around the other side, just like normal, yarn over, pull that loop through up to the halfway point. Then once again we're dropping that grey, twisting up the blue behind it, like that, and then yarn over with the blue, pull through all those grey loops, then yarn over, pull through the 2 blue loops. So that's your last peak. Just like that, and that's actually the last stitch of the round. So what you're going to do is you're going to twist up that blue, or twist the grey up with the blue, so you're catching up the grey. Then you're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 to close the round, just like this. Yep, just like that. There's your last peak. Lovely. Okay, so pull that tight just like that, and there's your hexagon. It's lovely. I love this design. I think it's really cute. I don't know what I'm going to make with this yet, but it's, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe like the lining of a hoodie, like a hood. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to know. Alright, so what we're going to do to make this a square, we're going to make this circle a square. What we do now is we chain up 1, and this 1 stitch, this chain of 1, is going to act as a stitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 3 half double crochets into the next 3 stitches. So a half double crochet is yarn over, because we're not really increasing until we get to the corners. So a half double crochet is yarn over, go into not the one beneath the chain but the next one along, then go into that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So that's a half double crochet. We'll do it again together because that was a bit messy. So yarn over into the next stitch along, which will be stitch number 2. Oh, hang on, we'll say this next one is stitch number 3 because we're counting that chain of 1 as a stitch. So 1, 2, and then this one 3. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. That's number 3. Then we're putting another one into the next stitch along, so that's 4. Now at this point we're going to start working on, well no, actually no, at this point we do 1 double crochet into the next stitch along. So 1 solitary double crochet into the next stitch along. Now we're going to start working on the corner. So what we do for this is into the next stitch along we're going to put 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3 double crochets all into that same stitch, just there like that. Now into that same stitch we're going to put a triple crochet. So a triple crochet is yarn over once, yarn over twice, then you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So it's yarn over and pull through 2 3 times for a triple crochet. Now we're going to do another one of those, triple crochet, into the next stitch along. So yarn over twice, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then beside that triple crochet into that same stitch you're going to put 3 double crochets. So 1 and 2 and 3, all into this. So there's 4 stitches in the same stitch for those 2 stitches. Now into the next stitch along after that you're going to put 1 solitary double crochet, so 1. Then the yarn's going to get a little bit twisted up as you go along here, but just sort of push it along as you go and it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine because it's not a massive project, so it doesn't really matter. if it is a massive project, you kind of got to do things differently. But anyway, what we're going to do next is we're going to put 5 half double crochets into the net, well, a half double crochet into the next 5 stitches. So we'll do that together. So next stitch, 1, then next stitch, 2, next stitch, 3, next 4, and then next one 5. So it's 5 half double crochets along. And then into the next stitch, it's going to be, okay, that's annoying. Yeah, now I'm tangled. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, next stitch along is going to be a solitary double crochet. So where are we? Yes, 1 double crochet. Then you're going to do another corner. So the corner goes 3 double crochets into the next stitch along. So 1, 2, 3, followed by a triple crochet into the same stitch. So that's 1 triple crochet, then another triple crochet into the next stitch along. So this one just here, triple crochet, followed by 3 double crochets into that same stitch just there. So 1, and 2, and 3. Now into the next stitch along, it's a solitary double crochet, just like that. And then the next 5 stitches along will be a half double crochet. So you can see the pattern just here. So you're going to do that. You're going to do 5 half double crochets along, then followed by 1 solitary double crochet. Then into the next stitch, it will be 3 double crochets and a triple crochet. And in the stitch after that, it will be a triple crochet and 3 double crochets, then a solitary double crochet, followed by 5 half double crochets. And yeah, it's repeating that pattern. I'm going to meet back up with you after I've done the last corner. I'm going to finish it up together. All right, I'll see you soon. Okay, now here we are, and I've done my last corner just there. So you'll see that you've got 2 stitches left to complete this sort of round square thing. So you've got 1 double crochet, 1 solitary double crochet into the next stitch, 1, and then into the next stitch, it's going to be what would be the first of the half double crochet, 5 half double crochets along here. So you're going to put your half double crochet into that last stitch just there, which you'll find is the connecting slip stitch from the previous round. So just like that, 1 half double crochet, just like that. And that's the first of the 5 along this row, including that chain of 1 from the beginning. So now what you're going to do at this point is you're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain of 1 from the beginning. So there's that chain of 1 to that stitch just above there. But what you're going to do is you're going to grab both of the strands of yarn, so the grey and the blue, and you're going to slip stitch with both. So yarn over with both, pull that through the stitch just there like that, then pull that through your last stitch, and there's your slip stitch. Now what you're going to do is you're going to chain 1 just like this, then you're going to find your scissors, you're going to trim that yarn just there. I'm going to trim it just like that, and you pull through that chain. So just pull it through like this, pull tight to secure it, and there you go. There you've got your little hexagon granny square. So cute. I really love it. I think they're adorable. Yes, kind of, I don't know, it's got like a medieval feel, and I love that stuff. So yeah, it's very medieval. Kind of looks like a stained glass window. I wanted to call it the stained glass window square, but somebody else has got a granny square called the stained glass, I think it's called the stained glass granny square, so I can't really do that. Yeah, theirs is really beautiful. If I don't know, yeah, have a look, like Google it, or maybe you can find it on YouTube, I don't know. But yes, here we go. This is this. I hope you've enjoyed this granny square. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to make just yet. I may make a hoodie with it. I hope you've made yourself a lovely hexagon. I have some other ideas like variations that I can make using this square, so I'm very excited about that. I actually just thought of them while I was making it then, so yes, that's very exciting. If you've watched to the end, thank you very much. I appreciate you very much. Also, I didn't say this at the beginning, which I usually do, but I'm going to say it now. If you haven't subscribed, but you would like to subscribe to join me for some more tutorials, I would love to have you join me.
So yeah,
big thank you to my patrons. Thank you for
really
your support.
well. It turned out better than I expected.
Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for being
very
here.
happy
Thank
with
you
it.
for watching
I really
my videos.
love this design. And I love the Starflower
If you
Granny
need to get in contact with me very quickly for any reason,
this particular design.
so yes, for help with anything, you can find me on
your favorite
Instagram.
Sweater, definitely gonna be wearing
so
some
on Instagram.
and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial.
Green
hope you've made yourself a lovely sweater.
That should be in the
yeah. Look forward to seeing you next
video anyway.
Okay,
but just let you know anyway. So that's who I am. You just come look for me. I'll be there. It's the quickest way to get a hold of me. Yeah, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.